Welcome back. You're still watching SA Today. Let's recap some of our top stories this hour. There is still no word as yet on the fate of Gauteng Health MEC, Dr. Bandile Masuku, his wife MMC for Group Corporate and Shared Services, Loiso Masuku, and the presidential spokesperson, Kusela Digo, who investigated for alleged involvement in PPE tender corruption. Nehau members vowed to continue with their protest at the union buildings until President Cyril Ramaphosa addresses them. The 75th United Nations General Assembly is currently underway virtually. President Cyril Ramaphosa will tell the gathering that Africa's role in the fight against COVID-19 must be taken into consideration. He will also continue the push for a permanent seat for Africa on the Security Council. Today is World Alzheimer's Day. This is a day on which the Alzheimer's organizations around the world concentrate their efforts on raising awareness about it as well as dementia. Every 68 seconds, someone develops Alzheimer, and this year the day is observed under the theme, Let's Talk About Dementia. We talk about it now with Petra Du Toit. She is Gauteng Regional Manager from Alzheimer South Africa. Very good afternoon to you, Petra. Thank you so much for joining us here on the SABC News channel.
Hello, it's nice to be with you and thanks for inviting us.
Thank you so much. So let's just talk about the importance of today.
About?
Yeah, talk to us about the importance of today. What's the significance of observing this day?
Sorry. Today is World Alzheimer's Day, and it's very important that we raise awareness around this because dementia and Alzheimer's is very relevant, and it's a disease that anybody can get Alzheimer's, not only Europeans or whatever. There are a lot of myths. So today is an important day to let everyone know that dementia is here, it's relevant, and it's growing as people getting older. It is really a disease that we need to tackle, all of us together, and to support people that are living with dementia.
All right. So how common is Alzheimer in South Africa? I understand that every 68 seconds someone develops Alzheimer disease. And it's estimated that approximately, 2.2 million people in South Africa live with some form of dementia?
That's right. Worldwide, the amount of people that is living with dementia at the moment is 55 million. And in South Africa, it's estimated around 2.2 million. But the 55 million, 66% of these people are living in low and middle income countries. So it's really something that we all, government, private sector, professionals, caregivers, everyone must take cognizance of this, that this is a growing disease, that we need to support people because anyone can get dementia. So it is very relevant in South Africa, and the figures will grow drastically in the next few years. We are busy with research to determine the exact figures for South Africa. That will be available by end of next year, hopefully.
Yeah. And we've got a colleague of ours who has a mother who's living with Alzheimer. And my understanding is that this disease is often called a family disease because of the stress of watching a loved one slowly decline. We understand that it affects everyone who's literally looking after this person with the disease. So what's the level of understanding like here in South Africa, or perhaps the level of education on Alzheimer and dementia?
Yeah, it's so important that we spread the word about Alzheimer's. Some people think a person is bewitched when they have dementia. Some people think they are mad. There are so many misconceptions. So it's very important, as you said, this disease affects many people in a household, not only the person living with dementia and the direct spouse or child or whatever, but it also the bigger family, the kids, the grandchildren, the friends, and so on. So it's really important that we take cognizance of this, that we are aware that Alzheimer's is here, dementia, and that we need to put our resources together to support
Yeah, indeed.
that are living with dementia.
The Social Development Minister, Lindiwe Zulu, was quoted saying that many people are not aware of Alzheimer's disease and the symptoms that may be associated with the disease. And as a result, some older persons suffering from Alzheimer's disease are often targeted as witches due to what's perceived to be that strange behavior and some sort of lack of understanding of the disease. What does your organization do in this regard? And perhaps on important days such as this one, to ensure that there is that penetration of education to our communities?
Yeah, no, that is really what we are there for. We need to raise awareness about the disease, that it's a disease of the brain, that it's a sickness, you cannot help it. And we really need to tell everyone that which when they start act strangely, do things that's not normally been done, and so on. So yeah, it is very important that we raise awareness with kids, with older persons, with family members and the broader community, because sometimes a person with dementia can wander away from home and then get lost and things like that. And people must know that this person has a disease, and that we really need to be as supportive and caring as possible.
Yeah, it does.
Although a person can act strangely, we need to support them to the best of our abilities.
It does require that utmost support, as I said, that it's often called a family disease. When I was reading up on Alzheimer's earlier today, I came across a study that found that 79% of a memory clinic's clients were being cared for by family members, some of whom had to give up their jobs in order for them to take care of their family members. So it just doesn't take its toll on the patients themselves, but to family members and extended people around you who have to take care of patients of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, exactly. Because as the disease progresses, you start to have difficulties doing activities of daily living. To dress yourself, to eat, to telephone, things like that. You need constant assistance. And that is why it's a very challenging disease and heartbreaking, because a person, your mind is affected. You cannot remember, you cannot take decisions anymore. And it comes over time. It starts mildly, then moderately, and then in the severe stage, a person, have difficulty breathing sometimes, eating, swallowing, things like that. So it's not a nice disease to have, but we need to support people and their families to the best of our abilities. And I'm very glad that Social Development did that press release, because from government side also we need all the support and funding we can get to be able to reach out to communities and to families affected by Alzheimer's.
No, certainly. I think more education is needed in order to educate the nation about the disease. We thank you so much for joining us here on the SABC News Channel.
Thank you.
All right, well, there you have it. That's Petra Du Toit. She's Gauteng Regional Manager from Alzheimer's South Africa, talking to us about the day, today being World Alzheimer's Day, of course, highlighting the importance of this day and what needs to be done to care for an Alzheimer's patient and the one that suffers from dementia. Moving along now, the need to provide sanitary